Welcome back. It is lucky number 10 interview of day one at Transform with our friends over at Overalls. I'm Adam Poster here with the podcast. We're with our friends over here at Overalls, and we're here with Natalie Breece from thredUP.
Hey Adam, how you doing?
Did I take care of all the names to you?
Yes.
Yes, that's how we do it there. Well, welcome to the show. For our audience out there, tell us who you are and what you do at thredUP and what you guys do at thredUP.
Yeah. So I'm Natalie Breece, Chief People and Diversity Officer at thredUP. Been at thredUP almost 10 years now.
Wow, lifer.
Yes. And thredUP is one of the world's largest online consignment shops for women and kids apparel.
It's so good. I mean, so we have in our garage literally bags. You have kids?
I do.
I mean,
do.
we have a boy and a girl, and we literally have cycles, and we get a lot of hands ups from our other friends that have kids, and then those bags go into the garage, and we have to sit on them. And I'm like, sit my friend, when I sell them, when I do something, I want to do it to consignment. Like, how does your platform encourage people and provide them a way to do that better than me sitting in the garage?
Yeah. So what I love about thredUP is it makes cleaning out your closet easier than any other organization. Literally all you have to do is request a bag from us. It's called a clean out kit. We send it to you. You fill it up with your stuff. You put it in the mail. You send it off, and you do nothing else.
Do nothing.
So that is great. I would also say on the topic of kids, when you're shopping for your kids and they're growing like weeds, having an option to buy things at 80% off retail is huge.
It's absolutely unbelievable. How did you get into the people business from your career-wise? How did you get into this world?
So I've actually been in the people space my entire career. There's so many of us that talk about getting into HR by happenstance or they fell into it. I'm not one of those people.
You went to school for this?
I actually went to school for organizational psychology,
right,
which was felt like the right way to kind of get an entryway into HR. I've been at it for like 20 years now. I grew up in the talent acquisition space, then made the leap over to talent management, the full HR suite.
So you're a recruiter like me.
Yes, a recruiter. We're the best, aren't we?
But also, yes. But don't you feel like that also professionally gives you that perspective as well? Because you understand what it takes to, like, the nuts and bolts of the acquisition of talent.
Yes.
How talent is acquired. That's what TA means, folks. But like, there's a way to do it. There's a right way to do it. But as a people and an HR leader, you see the big picture there. So you've been with this organization for 10 years. What's a couple of those big things that have changed in a positive way as far as process improvement and technology in those 10 years?
Oh my
Where have you really
gosh.
seen the big shifts?
How much time do we have?
Give us the Cliff Notes version there.
So when I joined thredUP, we had 500 employees. Now we have about 2,500 employees. When I joined, we were a private company. We are now a public company.
Lots of change.
We acquired a company. We divested a company. We have done so much, which is what's kept me here, frankly, for 10 years. I've never felt bored. I felt like I've gotten the experience at 5 companies in one organization.
You said something really interesting there. I've never felt bored. And I think when anyone becomes stagnant in their job, I think the onus is on the employee to speak up and do something, and it is on the employer to ensure a career path. Do you agree with that? Where would you add or change to that statement?
I think it's a really important mutual partnership where you make a commitment. When you commit to a job with somebody, you're committing to give them your expertise and that you're going to help to grow that organization. On the employer side, you're committing to helping that person develop, to investing in them. And when I say investing, I'm not just investing in them professionally. You're also investing in them personally.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shared commitment.
Let's talk a little bit about the hiring experience. In your 10 years working there, how has the benefits changed? How have they improved? How have you and the team listened more to employees that are there for things they want, and also candidates in the process?
Yeah, I think what employees and what candidates have asked for has changed significantly in 10 years. I think we sort of have a post-COVID or pre-COVID world where people were really focused on how fast can I get promoted? What does my compensation look like? And then we have a post-COVID world where people are still thinking about those things, but they're also thinking about, what does my life satisfaction come from? What does my well-being look like? How does this organization show up for me and give me flexibility? Like, those are the things that I think matter more today than they ever have before.
Interesting. So walk us through, as much as you're open to sharing, from the process of candidate to employee. At what point do you start talking about benefits, and how important are those benefits, and how unique are they to thredUP?
So we talk about them very early. We're incredibly transparent about what the value proposition looks like for a candidate to join thredUP. We share all of our benefit information as soon as our first round interview. And I think ours are very unique. One, on this flexibility side, in that we offer unlimited PTO, we have a sabbatical, we have a 4-day work week, but then also, I know, a 4-day work week. it's not without challenges, but we work Monday through Thursday. Friday is a day off. And the whole goal behind it is to invest in people and recognize that when you give them time to do things that matter for them, they will invest back in the
So
organization.
question on the 4-day work week. This is the first time I've actually talked to a leader about this. I have a lot of questions here. Are you still working your normal Monday through Thursday hours? Or are you making up time on Monday through Thursday?
So I will say we are an output-driven organization.
Output over hours.
Yes. But just like anyone else, you have a job to do, So like you have to figure, just like if you had a really important deadline, you might put a couple of hours in on a Sunday. It's the same thing, but we are focused on delivering outcomes, not inputs.
So the idea is, listen, we're going to give you Friday off, but we're also trusting you. Part my friends, get your shit done.
Exactly.
Right? It's a two-sided social construct.
Yes.
Right? It's like we're adults here.
Mm-hmm.
We're giving you that, but that doesn't mean like you can't get that done. So when candidates find out about that in the process, or maybe how strong of a driver is that 4-day work week?
It's massive.
Massive.
It's massive.
And I knew the answer to that. I just want to hear it. Like,
yeah,
it's gotta be.
I mean, it's what you just said. When you treat people like adults, they act like adults, and they want to have autonomy. They want to feel trusted in their role. They want flexibility. In fact, there's been studies done on this that people will take that, the flexibility, the overcompensation in a lot of cases. Now
I've seen that too with like people take remote over less compensation.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Can you pull back the curtain for a little bit? As much as you're open to sharing, how did that conversation go at the leadership level?
So surprisingly, it went well. So our CEO is somebody who's always had a philosophy that we should measure outcomes. And so before we had a 4-day work week, we had a schedule that 2 days a week that we called maker days, which were work from anywhere days. They were meeting free days to have time to really think. And so to be honest, it wasn't that hard of a sell. I wish I had a story that it was like a really tough sell.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
We were in the boardroom for 12 hours straight. There was debate going back and forth. There was
that would make an interesting story.
There was a pillow fight happening there somewhere. There was puppets involved. It was a whole big thing. So aside from that being a huge benefit, what else makes some of the benefits unique that really help compel new employees and from a retention perspective, keep the folks there?
So we do a lot around learning and development, making sure people feel like they're being invested in. Wellbeing is a big one for us. Over time, we've continued to add to that. I think family forming benefits are important. And then people also want to feel like they have support from the organization on the other aspects of their life. Things like childcare. If they are a caregiver for an elderly member of their family, like those things are very important. So it's like the peripheral benefits are just as important as I think like the primary benefits have been in history.
Well, let's talk about that for a little bit. Our parents are getting older, kids are getting younger, and I heard someone else reference it that we're in this sandwich generation, right? You and I are relatively in the same age bracket, and we look like we're taking care of children and we're taking care of parents.
Yeah.
And there's two sides to this. There's the time side. We're going to have to be able to be with an employer that understands. Listen, I may need to go spend some time with my parents. So are they going to allow me that, or are they going to, nitpick a nickel and dime my time? And then what benefits are you giving me? What services? Do I have like a concierge service, like an overalls that's going to give me guidance? Like, what if I don't know how to find that? How do you help your employees navigate the benefits that are available? Maybe some of the benefits that are not available, at least you can help get them in the right direction.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're a big fan of overalls, but we use overalls for that. We also have other benefits that we've incorporated that are on our own. Like, so we actually have sabbatical time. So if people have really meaningful life moments and they need time, and they've been with the company over 3 years, that's an opportunity for them. I will also say, not to overpromote our 4-day work week, but the situation you just described of like, I have
That's a day.
parents.
That's a day to go spend with mom or dad.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Yes.
So you guys work with overalls.
We do.
Why'd you choose overalls? What was it about overalls?
So to be honest with you, last year at Transform, I stopped by the overalls desk. I got a free, I think it was like a 2-week trial. I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this. I should try it. And I was like blown away. So this is personal, but I used it because I was like, you know what? I have a child entering teenage years that could benefit from therapy or counseling or somebody they can talk to outside of the family. I put an inquiry for that, immediately got a response, asked them for my insurance information, and got a list.
And then they navigated it for you, right?
And it took me 5 minutes, if that.
How amazing. And then you were hooked.
I was hooked. I was like, this is a benefit that the organization would really, I think that it would give people time back. It aligns with our values. And it's something that I think is very unique compared to anything else that's offered.
So you actually use the process. So walk everyone out there through the process. How did it work? So you call them, give them your, verify your ID,
Yeah.
you explain what you're looking for, and then you're talking to, a human, not a robot.
Exactly.
And they guided you through the process?
Yeah, and I didn't even have to get on the phone. Like I submitted a request on the website. It asked a series of questions, what I'm looking for. Somebody got back to me, I want to say a day later, asking me a couple of questions. Who was my insurance
Who's
carrier?
your provider? What
Where am I
coverage you have?
Yeah. And then I would say in a couple days, I had a really thorough list of providers. We took one, and my daughter's been working with her ever since. So
I absolutely love that. So now you have a use case. You've used it yourself. It had to be an easy sell into the organization.
It was. And the first place I looked at was my team and the executive team and said, hey, I've tried this benefit. It is really different from anything else on the market. And also, by the way, it's like well priced relative to other things on the market.
Price per use versus like now you have to pay a whole retainer.
Yeah.
And you don't need to. What was the adoption with the initial executives and team using it? Were people like using it?
People
or did
were
you have to push
using
them a
it.
little bit?
I did have to push a little bit.
It's hard. It's a active benefit. You have to actively use it.
Yes, but the great thing is once one person uses it and tells a story about it, then everybody else is thinking, okay, you save time on this, I should use this. We also have a unique workforce at thredUP where we also have an hourly population that could really benefit for this for childcare needs, transportation needs, a lot of other things that are just not always served in the market.
That's fantastic. So what was the rollout to the entire organization look like? And how did you spread the word? How did you drive adoption?
So actually the implementation was really easy. It didn't take long at all. We shared it with the organization. We gave a couple examples, including my example. And then we had a couple people that were early adopters and we had them share their experiences with it.
So the best practice is to share the use cases.
Yeah. And it's really a snowball effect after that. And everybody's use cases are different. We had people that did it to plan travel. Mine, which was more of a medical need.
Navigating insurance.
It's really a good solution for everyday challenges.
What was one of the most unique kind of use cases where you're like, aha, that's a good one?
Honestly, I was surprised to hear somebody had used it to plan an entire trip to Spain. She was thinking about using a travel agent, and then she used overalls instead. And so she saved money, she saved time, and now her family gets to go have an experience as a result of a tool that the company provided her.
And how important do you think having a benefit like this is for overall retention?
I think it's really important. I think whether it's overalls or it's another solution, I think things
it's
like
overalls.
This, that get people to, that help them in all aspects of their life, because it goes back to the fact that you need to invest in the whole person, not just the professional person, if you want to get that investment back.
And so how do you measure the ROI on this?
So the way we've measured it so far is adoption rate, and then in retention over time. Like, is this cited as people stay in the organization as a benefit that feels like a treat to them?
I love it. Absolutely love it. So you're no stranger to these type of work events. Leave us with some words of optimism. What's aside from overalls, because it already lights us all up, what has put a smile on your face in a conversation, in a tool that you've used here? What's really lighting you up here?
I think what makes me excited is I think there's a lot of conversation about the world of AI and what that's going to do for people and workforces and headcount. And what I'm really encouraged by is I think that the conversation amongst my peers is really about what this is going to do to enable people to work faster, to work smarter, to do more than they ever could before. And so I think it's a really catalyzing moment for us to think about this work differently, but also bring people along for a journey into what's going to revolutionize how we work as a society.
Well said. Natalie Breece from thredUP, thank you for joining us today. Where can folks find you? Where can they connect? Where can they learn more?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Connect with me on LinkedIn. You can check us out at thredup.com. And we do have career openings as well. So reach out.
Open roles.
Open roles.
Hiring, folks. Awesome. Natalie, thank you so much for joining me. Pleasure. All right, everybody. Day one at Transform. It's been a whirlwind. It's been a wrap. I want to thank my friends over at Overalls. Check out Life Concierge. GetOveralls.com. Tell them Adam sent you. I'm telling you guys, of all the conversations you're going to hear today, you're going to find out why and what benefits are important for your team, for hiring, for retention. Check out Get Overalls. I'm Adam. We'll be back tomorrow for day two. Check you then.